Hello again, it's Richard McCann. I hope you're well. I hope you've had a great, productive week and you've kept your spirits up. That is what we need to do. That is the spirit, of course. So it's Richard McCann here, and I've had an interesting week, I'll say. It wasn't what I was expecting 3 or 4 weeks ago, but we've had an interesting week. I've got some great news for you. It's very interesting. Nothing about my work. Just want to share something with you. A good feeling or feel good. Oh, do you know what me and my sister used to call this? FGF. Richard, come on, give us an FGF, a feel good factor, we used to call it. So here's an FGF for you. I want to share this with you. This is a letter that my wife saw on Facebook a few weeks ago. Are you self-isolating and blah, blah, blah. Basically, she runs a old people's home in York, and her residents would love to receive a letter because of the self-distancing thing going on. Pick someone and get writing. So my two daughters wrote to Brenda and Ethel, and look what I got informed of today. Ethel's hit the news. She's got the letters in her hand. And I dare say that Sky, my daughter, has wrote to Ethel, and one of her letters was possibly in her hand. So isn't that a great thing? And just another one of those silver lining things. Silver lining things that are occurring that wouldn't have happened had we not been in this situation. The silver linings exercise is one of the things that I do in my resilience workshop. Talking of my resilience workshop, another one of the exercises or things that I talk about is self-distancing. Now, I've been talking about self-distancing prior to the coronavirus crisis because self-distancing is not a new thing, but it's slightly different to how we've been describing it over the last few weeks. So, what is self-distancing? Well, it's a method, it's an approach to look at stressful situations. Let me describe. One of the most stressful situations for many, many people is standing up and speaking in front of a group. And in fact, you've got me there. That's at one of my iCan Speak boot camps. One of the biggest fears on the planet for a lot of people, and I can relate to that. Now, one of the ways, there's an experiment that took place, and I put the reference there where this is taken from, the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, edition 106, 2014, self-talk as a regulatory mechanism. How you do it matters. Let me explain. They got a group of people and they asked them who had a fear of speaking to talk about how they felt about it. Then they got another group and said, don't talk about it as if it's you. Talk about it in the third person. So the first person is I or me. The third person is that person there. You, he, she, them, they. That's the third person. So what they got this second group to do is say this. For example, Richard feels really anxious about this presentation that he's about to deliver, third person. He feels this way. She feels that way when they're talking about themselves. And what they found was those people that described the situation, the thing that caused them stress in the third person, they responded differently. They were able to perform better because when you talk about it in the third person versus the first, it means that you don't enter that fight or flight scenario, which is often the case for many people. The heart beating, the dry mouth, the sweaty palms, unable to think. That's the fight or flight response. And what they found was, I'll repeat it, those that describe the situation in the third, i.e. he feels really uncomfortable about this, she feels really uncomfortable about this when they're talking about themselves, they entered the challenge response, or they experienced the challenge response rather than the threat response, the fight or flight. I.e., they were able to perform better. They saw it as a challenge. Come on, let's do this. And they were able to do that when they described it in the third person. I've really hammered it home there, and I hope you've taken that on board. I guess what I'm saying is, when we're talking about any stressful situation, we're going to be much better able to deal with it by describing the situation or thinking about the situation in the third person. And I think we could do with applying that right now about what's going on around us. I'll say no more about that. And what else? Well, the third thing I was going to share with you today was that self-distancing. So the self-distance participants saw the stressful task as more of a challenge than a threat, performed better on it as rated by judges, recovered from their anxiety more quickly and felt less shame about their performance, worried less afterwards than the other group. Got it? That's taken from that report which I've referenced there, and you could read the entire thing if you're really interested. So, that is presentation skills that we were talking about just there. And of course, I'm unable to do my presentation skills in the same way that I used to do. Okay, every cloud has a silver lining. I am able to do it. So I've been helping other people do it as well. So today, just today, I was coaching somebody on how to run this software. There's Joe Hawley from Hawley Business Solutions, and she wants to share some videos with some nice text, multi-camera and such like, and I gave her some coaching in that. So that was great to do, and I can help you with it if you're interested. So, and I've got myself another client, on Monday, and I'm getting inquiries on a daily basis. So, you know what? I am seeing some green shoots because people are adapting to what's going on around us. So, if you're interested in me coaching you, supporting you, helping you in speaking to camera, in using this software, which might set you apart from your competition, or even storytelling and standing up and giving a presentation, I can coach you virtually as well in that, then I'd love to hear from you. Or even some resilience. I've been discussing resilience with an organisation and sharing the resilience content with their staff who are working from home. We're going through tough times, but it's a challenge, but we can get through this. And one final bit of news is this. On Saturday night, I did it for the first time last Saturday, but on this Saturday night, we're going to have a rave in my garden on the patio with my son, maybe with my daughters as well, maybe with my wife. We're going to put on the laser, we're going to light a fire, we're going to put on some tunes, and we're going to stream it on Facebook Live. Just go to Richard McCann, and you'll be able to watch that there. Because when you listen to music, it gives you that dopamine hit with feel good. And you know what? When you're going through resilient or challenging times, you need to feel good. It's in our interest to feel good. So just check on Facebook. You don't need to be following me. You don't need to be a friend of mine. You can just follow me and watch that rave, shall we say. No drugs involved, but there will be some great music if you like dance music. I'm going to go now. I've taken up too much of your time. Have a great weekend. Goodbye for now. Hello again, it's Richard McCann from the iCan Academy. Hey!